So while we have this disassembled before we put the electronic components back into it, let's just go over how these mechanisms work essentially. So this again was that tension screw that leaves the foot switch with the spring engaged. So when you push down on the toe, it'll return to heel. Okay, it's in auto mode. So we talked about how the optical sensor is engaged whenever you start to move the foot switch around. You move this lever over to manual mode. Now the pedal is free to move into whatever position it wants to. See how it's floppy like that? That's this screw here. This is the tension screw that adjusts how much tension is on the pedal. So right now, obviously, there's no tension because I wanted to be able to just make sure that everything worked. Move this back to auto. It re-engages that screw. Now it's back to return to heel position, and it'll automatically go on and off. So again, this switch in the foot switch mode, which it says auto switch and foot switch on the other side. Foot switch mode means you have to engage the foot switch in order to turn it on and off. Okay, all good. Everything's put back together here. Now we're going to go ahead and put the components back in. Now that we know the operation works correctly, it's moving from manual position back to automatic position. So before I'm putting everything back together, I verified that in automatic position, that's returning the heel. If I switch it over to the other position, which is foot switch mode, meaning that that turns it on and off, now the spring is disengaged and it's free floating. I can tighten that to whatever tension I want to make sure that this is where it needs to be. Now, I could also have it loose so that it just sort of flops over to the toe position because, this side is smaller than this side, so there's more weight here. So if it's in that configuration, it's automatically going to go to toe position. Not necessarily something I want, but think about it. When you're engaging a crybaby, when you engage it, it's in the toe position. So, if you want it to be a little bit more like a traditional crybaby approach to turning the wah on and off, when you turn on a crybaby, it's going to be in the toe position. So this is a way to configure it so that it's on the toe position as soon as you turn it on. Something to consider. Back to auto. Auto works correctly. Good to go. We can do the next part, reinstall the PCB boards.